Welcome back to Earthworm Jim. Groovy.
Big Brute.
Yes, this is Big Broody. This was a special new level that was made specifically for this special edition on the Sega CD. Basically, everybody, for those who don't know, the art director of Earthworm Jim was a guy called Nick Broody. So as you can probably guess, Big Broody, the big enemy of this level, is named after him. How affectionate. Anyway, Big
It's sort of
Broody...
like how they named Ridley and Metroid after Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, Big Broody is a level where we're kind of in this beehive type of level, where we're being attacked by wasps, I think? Or are those actual bees?
They look more like mosquitoes.
Alright, mosquitoes then.
Hold on.
Well, it's a swamp kind of like level, so I guess it makes sense that way.
Actually, it does look kind of like a fusion between a bee
Alright,
and a
I'll
wasp.
end up. I need to explain. We're about to meet Big
Yeah,
Broody.
go ahead.
Let me just take care of these fucking insects. There we go.
Whatever
What
they are,
are
they're
you
so-
doing?
Alright, so this is Big Broody.
Oh,
The thing about Big Broody is that when he smells us, he chases us. There you go. And yeah, I love yes, I love his voice when he's chasing us.
I guess it's Nick Brood himself who voices it.
Yes, very good too. All right, so yes, basically we have to basically try to prevent Big Broody from getting us because he can eat us and kill us in one hit. There you go. But as you can see, we can also take advantage of him to, take care of bits of the level for us. So basically, be careful, but at the same time, you can naturally use him to your advantage. Come on, Nick. There you go. And somehow hitting that wall turned them into three little broodies.
that we could not defeat.
Killed.
That seems very painful.
This just seems to be a poster
Oh,
boy on
Jesus.
my era. Whoa.
All right.
How
So
many animations needed to be made just for Jim himself? Jesus.
a ton, Teo. The same process they did for Aladdin was also used for this game. They animated everything on hand as if they were making an animated film, and then they compressed the animations into the Mega Drive, or in this case, the Sega CD.
I guess these guys will be so proud of Cuphead these
Oh,
days.
Yes.
Also, wonderful, nice use of the
Well, yeah.
Genesis and Sega CD's sound chip to give us that plenty good bout of nightmare.
Well, yeah.
feel.
When you get right down to it, the games made by this team were basically the games that paved the way for stuff like Cuphead. So. All right. So this level goes on for a bit more. So allow me to read some stuff from the manual that I didn't read in the previous part. So aside from the backstory that we've already known from the first part, I forgot to mention that Psychro is actually not the proper main villain of the franchise, because Psychro is actually working for a different villain. The Queen, who's the final boss of this game. Queen pulsating, bloated, festering, sweaty, pus-filled, malformed slug for a butt. Or Queen slug for a butt for short. We're going
That's
to
a
meet...
mouthful.
Yeah. Allow me to repeat that for those who may not be familiar. Queen pulsating, bloated, festering, sweaty, pus-filled, malformed slug for a butt. Try saying that 3 times fast.
Without eating anything beforehand.
Alright, so, yeah, basically, that's the thing. We have to also be careful of the Queen. For the record, she's the sister of our lady in distress, Princess What's Her Name.
Let me guess, stepsister, so she's evil.
Yeah, basically, she wants to kill Princess What's Her Name so that she can have the throne all to herself, basically. Which is why she ordered Psychro to kidnap her. You even see that in the first episode of the cartoon.
Probably. How many episodes did the cartoon have?
26, divided over two
nice.
13-episode seasons. It's a really good... It's actually one of those rare cases, Jova, of a cartoon based on the 90s, based on a game that's actually incredibly faithful to the spirit of the games. Like, pretty much everything checks out. Like, not just the style of humor, like, even stuff like Peter turning into a monster, like he does in the games.
So it managed to
Oh, Jesus.
avoid... Oh my.
That's what happens when he catches you. Go ahead, Jova.
So it managed to avoid the curse of the likes of Battletoads or Bubsy when it came to their TV shows.
Not just that, but we also have Jeff Bennett doing an awesome narrator voice.
Oh god, that is wonderful.
Anyway, no. The cartoon has a stellar voice cast. We have Dan Castellaneta as Jim, Charlie Adler as Professor Monkey for a head.
Nice.
And we have Jeff Bennett, like
Tara Strong.
No, not Tara Strong, but I'll get the list later. But for now, let me finish reading this. Okay, so yeah, like I've already explained, I didn't read about the levels as we were in the first part, so allow me. New Junk City, meaning menacing crows, giant mutant garbage cans, the junkyard's owner Chuck, and his dog Fifi. All remember those rabbit dogs we met? That's those. Their name is Fifi. They all want to welcome you to the junkyard in their own special way by trying to kill you. Bounce from tire to tire or slide across zip lines. Then we have the second level. What the heck? Welcome to Planet Heck. As Evil the Cat dances, you wander through the devilishly tricky maze. Step quickly. It can get a little too hot for Jim even in his indestructible suit. For an uplifting experience, take a jog on a jam, but don't let Jim get a hot foot. Ha ha ha. There'll be a hot time in the whole town for sure. And now, of course, we have Big Broody. What's a Big Broody, you say? You'll know one when you see one, that's for sure. Then all you'll have to do is figure out how to get by him without ending up like a big piece of chewing gum. Here's a hint. Use his enormous weight and momentum to your advantage. Even if you do get past him, you still had better be careful. You wouldn't want to get stung.
So I guess these are really bees.
Yeah. Alright, let me just go back. We also have the cast of characters that I can read here. Just an ordinary Earthworm Jim, not just an ordinary earthworm caught in a suit he doesn't understand. Faced with the daunting task of keeping the superpowered suit out of the evil clutches of his vicious enemies, you'll have to use every weapon and power you can just to keep Jim alive. And he has got weapons: whips, plasma blasters, hamsters. You'll see. You'll see in the next level too, and other high-tech stuff. Evil the Cat, born with no heart, the ruler of Heck lives to torture others, like all cats do.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Filing Heck with corporate... he filled Heck with corporate lawyers and dreaded elevator music. Evil has seen to it that Jim doesn't stand a snowball's chance. Evil snowmen are a good example of how twisted this cat really is. If you thought Heck was bad before, you ain't seen nothing yet. We also have Chuck and Fifi, aka the rabbit dog. Fifi is no lovable poodle. Try a psychotic 4-legged chainsaw with a rusty chain and you'll know what we mean. Fifi wants to keep strangers away from his master's junkyard. Chuck will throw up anything he can to keep you from surviving. You'll need to keep your wits in order to dethrone him. Psychro.
I think Fifi's just mad because he was given a girl's name.
Probably. Psychro. Jim was hunted by crows all his life, but never one with a gun. Psychro is determined to get that suit back for the Queen at any cost. Because of his persistence in his twisted crow mind, you'll never know when he's gonna turn up. If he ever gets his worm hook into you and pulls you out of the suit, Jim's as good as bass bait. Keep your eyes open and stay on guard. So there you go. Basically, as you can probably guess, even the manuals for these games got a lot of funny writing in them, especially the second game's manual. Just to give you guys an idea, guess how they introduced the credits section of the manual?
Comic?
A screenshot of Jim asking, "Hey, who exactly made this mess?" Alright, so yeah, we finished the level, so now another Andy Asteroids level. I think I lose. Well, actually, no. It's the one at the end of this part where I finally lose when we get to see the Psychro boss fight.
So, question: are the boss fights when you used him in this? Are they all the same as each other?
They're all the same, except the fact that they get harder in the sense that he takes more hits.
I'm guessing the absolute final boss, which is probably obligatory, though, is different from them.
Well, yeah, like I've already explained, the real boss battle, the final boss battle.
I meant the final of his.
Oh god!
It's the same thing, just with more hits, Jova. That's all you need to know.
Oh, okay.
Psycho is more like a comic relief villain rather than a proper villain, and even in the cartoon, he's like that. Groovy.
Also, is it true that you can spam the button to spam the groovy thing in the loading screen?
No.
Okay.
I never. What you can do too in the pause screen? Okay, this is the next level down the tubes.
Oh, I remember this one. Seeing it a couple of times here.
Water level.
Yeah, episode 3 in particular takes place in this level. Another example of how really faithful the cartoon was. But anyway. This is the home of another new antagonist. Let me get his description on the manual. Bob the Killer Goldfish. Bob is a goldfish with plans. Plans to steal Jim's powerful suit so he can rule the universe. He can't harm Earthworm Jim directly, but that's what the drone cats are for. This brute packs a mean punch. Whatever Bob wants, the drone cat gets, and Bob wants that suit. Basically, Bob the Killer Goldfish has these henchmen who are giant muscular cats, and they punch the hell out of you. So be careful.
They really like cats, apparently.
A goldfish of all things hired cats.
Yes.
Oh,
jeez.
Well, that's appropriate considering he's voiced by Dan Castellaneta in the cartoon. But God damn it.
How are you supposed to get up here?
Through this too. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Basically, the whip ability also works as a kind of hook shot thingy. There you go.
makes sense.
Alright, so yeah, down the tubes we go. Anyway, another thing that I could mention... No, there's not any... Oh yeah, I forgot to read Big Brody's description. Blind as a mole rat, fat as a beached whale, dumb as a rock. That's Big Broody. If he gets one whiff of you though, he'll come after you like a runaway freight train. Your best bet is to stay out of his way because he's always hungry and he always chooses food 30 times before swallowing.
Okay, that was straight up Looney Tunes. What just happened with that smaller cat?
Well, Jova...
Ah, and a gerbil!
Oh, what the
heck?
fuck?
Oh, that's right. This is where we have to use the giant gerbil to eat these things that... there you go.
Of course.
Where did
Well,
those
gerbils like
gerbils...
running through tubes and shit.
You
was
see,
freaky.
Teo.
Not gonna lie.
You see, Teo. It made sense to Doug when he was smoking whatever the hell he was smoking.
I guess he... Well, I forgot. Was the Lemmy Winks episode already hired back then?
The Lemmy Winks episode?
Oh, South Park. Lemmy Winks,
Oh.
the Gerbil King.
Oh, that. By this point, no. Well, no. South Park wasn't even a thing back then, Teo. This game came out in 1994.
Oh, okay.
South Park came out in 1997.
Alright, oh, the bubble. Yeah, I think I remember this one. You need to not knock it too much, otherwise it breaks.
Is that what the number 30 was there for?
I think so.
That basically here's the basic gist of how that particular vehicle works. You can change direction a total of 30 times. If you can't, if you go over it, the thing will explode and you'll die. So basically, you have to be very careful and plan accordingly. However, since I'm playing with cheat mode on, I have infinite tries.
Ah.
All right, let's
All right.
continue. Anyway, there you go. Oh, crap. Basic, as you can probably guess, the final boss of this level is Bob the Killer Goldfish.
So now,
Nah,
now
I
this
thought it
is
was
something
gonna
I
be
need
his
to see.
sister, the Little Mermaid.
Now this is something you need to see. A boss fight against a goldfish.
Oh, Teo, it's not even... trust me, the best boss battle against Bob the Killer Goldfish is in the second game. He's actually the first boss of the second game,
Oh.
and it's an even better boss fight than the one in this one. I assure you, you'll see.
In the
Alright.
sense of comedy or actually being a fun fight?
In terms of comedy, Bob's boss battles are always used for comedy. They're never
Remember, Joe,
proper.
also the main focus of this game, yes, it's also to work, but also to be a comedy, most likely.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I expect nothing less. I mean, there's plenty of dark here, but it's definitely a comedy first and foremost.
There's still some really good boss battles. It's just that most of the time the game will prioritize its comedic elements.
Mhm.
Let me see. There you go.
So, in terms of actually playing this legit, is the bubble annoying?
No, not really. Like as long as you do things slowly and don't, like as long as you play your cards right, don't just don't do what I'm doing right now. Don't just mindlessly charge in,
think
guns
so.
blazing. As long as you do things properly, keep your spatial awareness, you should be fine. Not to mention
It's nice of them
those
to
things
not
that,
place enemies that can hurt you.
not just that, but you also that thing right there that you're seeing right now. That's a charge thing. Well, basically, when you see one of those things, you can stop in there. It exploded because I'm invincible. when you find one of those things, you can charge your counter. So you even have checkpoints in between anyway. So it's not that bad.
You know, despite being tough, this game seems to be definitely quite player-friendly.
Oh, it's definitely not Battletoads in that regard.
The game is hard, but unlike Battletoads, it's not frustrating hard. It's actually fair. And the frustration always comes from you fucking up, not the game being cheap as all fuck.
I mean,
even in some cases, you actually legitimately get a good laugh.
And they even give you an official cheat mode.
There you go.
If
See,
you really do want
the reason I need that's why I need gerbils. The gerbils are the only things that can kill those things.
Yeah, those are cats. Just
I guess
smaller ones. That somehow are
there you go.
be a bit stronger than the big ones. And whoa!
All right.
Groovy. All right. This, like I said, the interesting thing about Down the Tubes is that it's a level that actually has two phases: the Down the Tubes phase and the Tube Race phase.
Oh boy! So is this the rat race but done better?
Let's save that for the second game, Jova, because the final boss of the second game is actually a race. So
you know, I do to wonder. This game just seemed to have a few similarities to Battletoads, but in the sake of doing it better. Like, did this game have any competition from Battletoads in the sense of, you know,
No,
not really. By this point, Battletoads was pretty much over and done with.
Franchise and everything.
Yeah. Well, no, mostly the main game. Keep in mind, Battletoads still had a couple of games, some of which we haven't covered, like that crossover we had with.
I love what Jim says when we get on the gerbil. Ah, stay away. There we go.
You're saying that, you're saying what, Tio?
There was a crossover between Battletoads and Double Dragon about things, but to very check out, but I don't know when it was specifically made.
How about the cartoon?
Oh,
I never seen the Battletoads cartoon.
The pizza pile never went anywhere, and it basically repeats itself for like the 20 minutes that it airs on.
Basically, Pedro, stop me if you heard this before, but a few normal kids could turn into these kooky-looking toads or whatnot, and they are the butts at school. But in secret, they can turn into the beings.
Street sharks.
Something like that.
I guess I was the only one watching that.
Was that show any good?
Yeah, I think so. It was pure 90s cliches, like the premise that you just mentioned was entirely about that, but it was okay-ish. I'm guessing it was another American show made just for selling toys, but my country has the advantage of not focusing on that when broadcasting a show.
So Teenage Sharks, was it like...
No, Street Sharks it's called. Let me check the details in the meantime.
And how about the Ducks Rock show? Oh, Tim Curry. And then there's a 90s show. Actually, no, not a 90s show. A show that was made in 2010s, but feels like it was a 90s show. Kung Fu Dino Posse.
What the fuck?
Basically, it's about these 5 dinosaurs who were frozen, and yet somehow when they were unfrozen, they're humanoid enough to be 5 members of a Kung Fu Dino Posse who can even dress casually, walk upright. And, they have Kung Fu shenanigans. No mutations, it's just dinosaurs that were frozen from back in time and somehow are human-like.
To go back to what I was saying earlier,
go ahead.
Just to give an example, Jova, have you ever seen Dave the Barbarian?
Yes, I love that show.
Guess who the lead writer of the Earthworm Jim cartoon was? Doug Lundale, the creator of the Barbarian. So that should tell you how clearly he was the right person to do that cartoon. Basically, Dave the Barbarian was.
Yeah, you showed me one or two episodes.
Dave the Barbarian was basically the last breath of the '90s cartoon, that wacky, funny cartoon, the kind of cartoon, basically.
I consider Dave the Barbarian to sort of fit better with the early 2000s era of Disney cartoons. Essentially, this was a pretty good era in and of itself. The difference was mainly that we weren't doing cartoons based off of the movies. 90s was, of course...
there you go, Bob the Killer Goldfish.
Okay.
So how do we defeat them, you might ask?
Tip his bowl over.
Very good, Jova.
Oh, really?
There you go. Bye, Bob.
Okay then.
Groovy.
Groovy indeed.
What a tube race that was. We didn't really do much racing.
And the asteroids. There you go, Shiroi. This is now you know how to kill a goldfish.
But why would
Honestly,
you do that?
those things don't survive past a week. So, you know.
I managed to. When I was a kid, we managed to have a goldfish that lasted 4 years. I don't even know how.
He was very well
What?
taken care of.
I guess, but we didn't do anything special with it.
That's hardly that's like pretty much unheard of. Jesus.
Wow. So,
It can happen. I mean, my dog is now 13 years old, which is pretty old for a dog, I assure you, for those who don't know.
But a dog and a goldfish are not the same thing.
I guess.
Not only that,
Maybe it was a
not
pressure
yet, but goldfish have very different metabolism and they're not suited properly for being pets in a small aquarium. And in my case, it was even the stereotypical bowl, so it was even worse.
Love
in
the
that regard.
love the banjo in this track.
Yep.
me too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
jeez.
If I okay, there you go.
Oh god.
If I remember correctly, this is actually a classic tune that's playing.
Oh, this. There you go. So what's next then?
The next level is called Snot a Problem.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
You're so funny.
I mean, if you didn't tell me otherwise, I would say it was a reference to Booger Man.
No, Boogerman came after this. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Round 1.
Round 1?
Yes, round 1. Okay, so allow me to read the description. Which reminds me, I didn't read the description of
Bungee jumping.
Down the Tubes.
Thank you.
The description of Down the Tubes is Bob the Goldfish knows that Earthworm Jim's supersuit could make him ruler of the world, maybe even the universe. Controlling the drone cat minions in his underwater lair, Bob will use his servants to find you whenever you hide, high or low. Don't let the size of Bob's kitten guards fool you. They're just as powerful as the cats. Hamsters galore. Anyway, this is not a problem. Bungee jumping is scary enough without Major Mucus trying to bash you into the walls, but that's exactly his plan. As your bungee cord gets thinner and thinner, your life hangs on a few measly threads. But that's not all. Mucus brain is waiting for you to get too close to the pool of snot or fall in. He's waiting for lunch. AKA, this is a bungee jumping contest. Basically, what you have to do is every time one of us smashes the other one into the wall, our ropes get weaker, and the one which has their rope snap first falls and dies.
So basically, you gotta beat Mucus before...
Yeah, we have to meet Major Mucus, which is a big piece of snot, and make him fall into acid or whatever the hell that is.
Yep, definitely a 90s spot.
Yep.
One of the best.
All right then. Let me read the Major Mucus's bio.
Might as well.
Where was it? Okay, Major Mucus. From the distant planet, which is the one we're at right now, Major Mucus will stop at nothing to get Jim's suit. Bouncing wildly from a tiny thread of goo, the Major is bound to be trouble. Watch out, if he gets a hold of Jim, the snot will really hit the fan. Huh? Huh?
Apparently, it's a sore loser because now it's time for round 3.
Yes. You never heard of best out of 3, dude? Come on.
I mean, yeah.
Alright, let's...
Oh, and he's got a pedestal that looks like it's trying to have a nibble.
Once again, since I'm playing with cheat mode on, my rope never breaks.
Oh.
However, you can still die even with cheat mode on. You can still die if you're caught by snot. I can't pronounce that stupid word to save my life. The point is, if that thing in the mucus eats you, you die, regardless of whether you have the cheat mode on or not.
Let me guess, one hit kill?
Yes, one hit kill. So basically, while you're fighting against mucus, you also have to mine the snot.
Watch out.
Yes, I just said that. Alright, let's keep going. So yeah, basically, here's the basic gist of it. Yeah, whenever he's spinning like that, don't bother, because he can't be pushed around when he's spinning, so just wait a bit. There you go, now you can. Basically, if you press the attack button during the session, he does that shove thing that you're seeing right now, which is what pushes Snot into the walls, basically, because the walls are spiky, and as a result, it cuts down the ropes. There you go. Look out below.
There we go. Almost there.
There we
I
go.
don't want to know where that line of goop is coming from.
Groovy.
Yay! Totally.
Yeah. Alright, now one more on the asteroids, so we can get to the next planet. And this is actually one where I'm going to lose, so we're going to see the Psycho boss battle.
Yes, you're Rocket Man. I'm sure James T. Kirk is proud.
He's just so happy about everything.
Yes.
This is still painful to look at.
Depends on the, obviously because of your condition, you of course would have problem. Personally, I don't mind even at the end where it goes full seizure mode. I'm fine with it. Maybe I'm just not as prone to seizure as some people are. But yeah, I can definitely understand how this would probably be a bothersome to some. Come on.
I'd still take this over the Sonic 2 special stages, though.
Well, this is actually pretty easy, and even if you do lose, all you get punished with is an extra is a boss fight anyway. So it's not like it's that much of a there's not really any pressure on you anyway. So
It's also better than the gummy ship.
The one of the first game or the second?
First, I guess.
Oh well.
God,
That's
you
the
know,
thing,
going.
The first are so slow.
yeah.
Not only that, when I went back to Kingdom Hearts 1 with my sister, I remember the pain of having to actually manually travel back and forth until you get the warts. Oh God. What?
What?
Well, remember I
What
lost.
was that?
I lost the race.
Well, I get that.
He rumbled, I guess.
Yeah, he rumbled.
Okay.
Psycho.
Psycho, come here.
All right, so the boss battle.
Well, you asked for it.
All right, so the boss battle against Psycho goes like this: first, you shoot him with your gun, and he gets his cartoony stars thing, and then you whip him with yourself. There you go. Basically, just keep doing that until he dies. Well, not dies, but like until he runs away. And we get a cool line from Jim when we do this. So. Oh fuck!
I'm guessing
Also,
you
I
have
think this boss theme is a bit unfitting.
I like it. It's got
Well,
the
remember,
nice
Teo,
face.
that's kind of the gimmick we're going with, unfitting themes for irony's sake.
I guess. What he said?
Man, Psycho, you got stumped. Alright, everybody, so that was it. So tune in next time where we go to level 5. No, I'm not kidding. The 5th level is literally called level 5.
How fitting. See you for
Oh, wow, I'm looking forward to seeing Leighton there.
See you then, everybody.
See ya.